Hello and welcome to your Bullet 331 BHS. Just going to start right up front here with a light, just in case you need to hook up at night. Then you have your retract and extend for your power jack here. Right behind this little black tab, because this is electric, if it ever electrically goes out, go ahead, pull this tab off, insert a tool, and you can higher and lower it from there. It's just a little manual override. Come to your propane tanks. This little black switch here indicates which propane tank it's grabbing the propane from and whichever one is reading. What I mean by reading is there's this little piece here that tells you if you're getting a steady flow of propane through it or not. So the reason why it's red is because there's no propane going through there at the moment. When it does, it'll turn green. Then once again, once it turns red, just go ahead, flip to the propane tank and start using that. Coming back here, this is going to be your battery disconnect. When you turn this on, so you can turn this to a remove cover, so that's just to touch the battery, and then power off, and then power on. Let's go ahead and turn it on. This disconnects the battery from the camper, so basically it just cuts all power off to the inside of your trailer. This is for a solar panel, so if you do get a solar panel, just go ahead and get that same little input there. But otherwise, that's all you really need to know. Outside hose for an outside shower here. Coming into your water panel here. Gonna start right up front, or right up top left. This is gonna be your black tank flush. So basically for that, if you put a pressurized hose into the little orange spot, that turns on a sprinkler inside of your black tank, which actually helps out wash any of the other toilet paper or crud that may have gotten stuck on the way out. That just gives it one last little flush through. In the middle, you have your freshwater connection or freshwater fill up. So basically, only time you're ever gonna need to use that is if you're going on vacation to the middle of nowhere where you don't have steady water. So for example, let's say you're going out to the middle of the woods. All you gotta do is fill that up with a little gravity fill. You'll have a little reader on the inside which will tell you how full it's getting. But when you do that, you fill that up, go on vacation. Once you're out there and you need water through your sink, showers, whatever, you have to go ahead and turn on the water pump switch, which I will show you on the inside. To the right there, you have your city water connection. That city water connection comes through a campground hose. So for that, I do recommend actually having a water pressure regulator. The reason why I do recommend that is just because there's gonna be a lot of people at a campground. So campgrounds are pushing for a lot of pressure, a lot of people. So it could blow out your lines. I just recommend getting one just to keep it safe. But once again, all that is for you if you go up to a campground. That's where you put your water into. To the top right here, you have your stabilizer jacks, which I will show you. All right, I'm over here. Sometimes they just gotta have a little help, just to help go down like that so they can continue. But sometimes one will go down, then you'll have to wait for the other one. But in this example, just need a little bit of help. Once they hit, you're pretty much good. You don't need to keep going because they're not here to lift it up, they're just here to stabilize. And then for your back ones, it's going to be kind of hard to see. Once you hear it hit, that means you're all set. Coming to the winterize option. So all that does is when you turn the switch to on, which it is right now because it's just winterized, this little winterize tab here, let me plug these up so they're not in our way. All right, so for winterize, make sure this is on. The reason why it is on right now is because it is winterized. But basically, all it does is turn this into a suction. So you put your hose into here, and then into a jug of antifreeze. And what that does is, once again, turns that into a suction. But you have to turn on your water pump on the inside, which I'll show you. Turn that on when this is on, and then this will start to suck up your antifreeze. Obviously, you don't want antifreeze in your in your water heater, so you have to bypass it. So right now it's bypassed because once again it is winterized. But it would be in the off position when you're running water, and then to winterize, make sure you bypass it and then turn this on and suck your antifreeze in. Outside shower once again. And on the right side here for a TV, this is gonna be your antenna, rooftop antenna, satellite prep, and you have your satellite and inputs here. Coming out of your sewer system here, you have your gray tank and your black tank here. So for example, obviously this is going to be all your toilets and whatnot. This is going to be more of your sinks and showers. So what I do recommend doing is doing your black tank first. Just go ahead, take it and pull it. All it is a little pull. I don't want to do it because there's antifreeze in there at the moment, and it'll start to pour out. But all you got to do is pull this. Once this is pulled, obviously it'll start to drain. Once it's done draining, go ahead and go back up that way to your black tank flush. Go ahead, turn on the hose with that, have it rinse for a little while. Once it's completely done, go ahead, shut that off, and then pull your gray tank tab. This tab will just give it one last little rinse. Obviously it's still gonna be dirty water, but that's gonna be the cleanest water out of these two, to just give it one more rinse before you go ahead and put your hands on. For the back of your bullet, this is gonna be your camp power or shore power here. Up top it is camera ready. So if you go ahead, pop that little plate off, insert a camera, you'll have a little tablet which will go into your cigarette lighter. Once it's in there, all you gotta do is turn your running lights on. Once those running lights are on, it'll start to feed that tablet the camera feed from back here. Little outside kitchen. Outside stove top. Here, all you gotta do, so we decided to actually come out. I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. All you do is press down, turn to the light, then go ahead and light it with a lighter. Same goes for this one, push down, turn, and then light. That just pushes gas to the system in order for you to light it. You have your LP hose back here. I'll try to get you a good view. There you go. When you want to get propane through this, there we go. If you want propane through this, right down here you have an LP quick connect, which go ahead, put your hose inside of here. You just push back, insert, and then let go, and then turn this way to start to release propane. And then with that, this will start to get propane, and then you can go ahead and start lighting it. Come into your stairs here, make sure your door is completely open as far as they can go. Otherwise, pieces here along the side will clip your door. Otherwise, all you gotta do is lift up. You also gotta watch out for this one up here too. There we go. And then turn, kind of push in, just so these little pieces get behind the door. And then once again, just do the opposite to take it down. Twist, pull, and then go ahead and drop your stairs. Make sure this is completely flush with the metal piece, because if you do go to shut your door and that isn't flush, it'll rip off the furry part along with the rubber seal behind it. So better to leave that flush. Coming to your furnace exhaust. So basically this gets very hot when the furnace is on. So if you have any little kids in the area or someone who may not know, just let them know, do not touch this because this will burn them. TV inputs here. And then 110 outlets underneath. And then mounted for, or backed for a TV mount. Coming into your water heater here. You have this little plug, which is a 1 1/16 socket. So you gotta put it on this little drain here to build pressure before you go ahead and put water in it. So first things first, open this up, make sure you plug that hole, socket it down, make sure it's nice and tight, and then go on the inside, turn on the hot side of your faucet. Once you have a steady flow of water coming out of the hot side of the faucet, then go ahead and turn the water heater on. But you do have to wait. The reason why I said a steady flow is because it'll start to sputter out at first, which is just all the air getting pushed out of your tank. Once all the air is out, then it'll start to come out as a steady flow. Once you have that, go ahead, turn this on, and then it'll start to work. Water does get stagnant after a few days, so just a recommendation is to empty it every now and then before you go ahead and keep filling it. So to release the pressure, because obviously there's gonna be a lot of pressure built up, go ahead, just pull this. This is a pressure release valve. It'll start to hiss. Once it's done hissing, go ahead, take this off, and all the water will start to drain out of here. And to make it go faster, just make sure it's straight like this, because if it's folded, it's not gonna go as fast. For this awning here, you have a black little tab up top. That's a manual override. So if you pull that off, stick a tool inside, if this ever electrically goes out, you can manually override it back in or out. Coming to the inside of your camper here, we have a lot of your electrical work. So starting off at the top, we have all of your readers. So battery, fresh tank, black, and gray. And then you have two elements to your water heater. You have a both gas and electric version. So this is when you make sure there's a steady flow of water coming out, everything's plugged up. You're able to choose whatever one you'd like. If you want to do both at the same time for the most heat, go ahead. This is the water pump. So the water pump is that fresh tank fill. Once that's completely full, you're out in the middle of nowhere, you need water, go ahead and turn this on. You have your porch light, which is just gonna be a little awning LED. And of course your ceiling lights inside here, which are able to section off with a little button right here in the middle. Then you have your first slide here, which I'll do a little in out for you. Just so you know what it sounds like when it fully extends. It just dies off. Glide room 2 is gonna be this bedroom here. It's gonna be the same way, sounds the exact same. And then you have your awning retract and extend. I'll run this out for you. So you'll know when the awning is fully extended. When you see a little flap come down and then that black bar underneath up here. There's the flap and bam, black bar. So you'll see it just like that. You know you're fully extended. If you keep going, it'll actually roll in the opposite direction and end up breaking. For example, to pitch for the rain, you can see the little yellow piece there. All it says is pull down to adjust. I'll do it on this side just because it's closer. You can do it on either, but all you do is pull down like that, and then it'll bend one way so the rain can then slide off. It claims you can run it in like this, but what I do recommend doing is just pushing it back. Obviously just for safety, but I would rather be safe than sorry. Coming just underneath your power panel here, you have all of your air controls. So for example, you have your fan, which you can adjust from this button down here. You have your cool mode, once again control, and you have your furnace mode, which it's always gonna say on furnace. I don't know why I was clicking this. And then you have your temperature, which you can raise up and down, just like that. Coming into this back room here, your lights, once again, click ons, just like that. Let's start on the left side here. You have a TV mount bracket location, and then you have your satellite and antenna TV along with your outlet here. For this bed, all you have to do is give it a little bit of pressure to release the pressure from here, slide up, and same goes for the other side here. And then it lays down right on the cleats, and there's that. To bring it back up, same thing. Bring it up, put there. And same goes for the other side. Just underneath that TV bracket location, you have your breakers and fuses. They're all gonna be labeled just like a house. And I do recommend bringing extra fuses along with you. I would rather just be safe than sorry, but you have all of your fuses here. Coming to your sound system, click to turn on. That's very loud. Zone 2 is gonna be your outside speakers that you can turn off, and then hold for off on both of them. You can choose, and then once again, hold again to turn them back on. You have your AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth, and source, and then you can also tap to mute, and once again, hold to turn off. Going into your fridge. On the right side, you have all of your controls. Just through here, you have cool, cold, and coldest, which you can adjust from that dial for the stove and oven here. Click to turn on, and then all you gotta do is push in, turn to release the gas, and then spark to the right. Goes for all of them, all three. Once again, spark to the right. There's even an arrow reminding you, because if you turn to the left, it'll snap off. And then for your oven, when you press and turn to the little flame symbol, this will activate a tiny little flame in the back. Once you see that, go ahead and then turn to your desired temperature. Make sure you have all your outlets, you just press down and lift up. Just like that, you have your USB. And then to put it away, you can lift up and put the red button in, or you can just click and press down. For your keys here, you have main doors, side doors, and outside doors, and this is going to be your miscellaneous key. So for like an outside shower or something along the lines. For this here, for extra counter space, you'll just lift up. It'll lock underneath, just like that. This here and that there. And then to release, you just do the same thing. Press where they came out from, lift up, press them in, then slowly bring back down. For your chairs here, for your theater seats, there's a piece here that you can pull to extend. And then just go ahead and lean back, and it'll reach out like that. Go ahead, sit up, and then use your legs to push them back in, and it's just that easy. Inside of here, you have all your storage, along with your cup holders. Coming down here to your carbon monoxide detector. This little green light indicates that it's on. So as a safety feature, this never actually turns off. Even when your battery disconnect is on, and there's no power coming, it's taking the power from the battery regardless. So what that means, this little green light will eventually kill your battery. So what I do recommend is after about 3 to 4 days, if you're not going to be in your camper for that long, just go ahead and take the negative end off of your battery, because then this will finally die. Once again, this always stays on, even with battery disconnect. So if you're going to leave your camper for about 3 to 4 days, go ahead, just take the negative end off of your battery, and then this will finally die. For the toilet here, it's just gonna be a foot flush. So what you do need is toilet solution along with RV grade toilet paper. The toilet paper will help break down easier, so it won't end up clogging your systems. And then your solution will help break down solids and smells, which will also help not clog your systems and kill all the smell that may arise. Inside your bathroom here, you can open up your fan cover, and then with this little black switch, turn the fan on. Walking into your bedroom here, once again, you have another TV mount bracket location here, and then your satellite antenna inputs here, along with your outlets. So give myself a little more room. If you grab underneath on the wood part and lift up, that's where you can access all of your extra storage. Light switch. If it doesn't work, let's go ahead, click them on. They're most likely just clicked off.